Stay tuned for today's public report as we talk to some heroes in the Triangle.
TCT presents Public Report, a look at the issues and events of importance to our viewing area. Now, here's your host.
Hello, I'm Scott Strother. Welcome to today's public report. Today we're going to be talking to the Assistance League of the Triangle area. You may have heard of the Justice League, the cartoon characters and the comic book characters who are heroes. Today we're talking to the Assistance League of the Triangle, and we're going to get some information about some heroes right in our own area. Good morning, ladies. Good to see you.
Good morning.
Good to have you all with us. Let's get right into this. Jean,
Yes.
Tell us all about the Assistance League of the Triangle area. That's a big order to fill. All about the
It is.
Assistance
Well,
League.
let's see. The Assistance League is a volunteer organization dedicated to improving the lives of women, children, and families in our community. So we are a local chapter of the National Assistance League,
Okay.
and we serve the Triangle area.
Okay.
So the National Assistance League has established all of our structures and policies and procedures to follow. So one of the things I really like about the organization is how professionally it's run and set up.
So now when you say the assisting women and children of the Triangle, now are these folks in special need? Are they in certain situations in areas of their life? What exactly?
Yeah, well, it's a variety of different philanthropic programs that we support, and some of it are children in need through our Operation School Bell program, and women in need, and it's just a variety of different philanthropic programs.
Are these single parents necessarily?
No,
or,
not
okay.
necessarily. Some are. It's families. We support
Okay.
families as well. So.
Okay. What kinds of things do you? Well, I'm going to ask Barbara. Barbara, how do you, when it comes to children in need, how do you help children in need? What are some of the things that you all are involved in?
Well, our biggest program, and the one that is a signature program across all Assistance League chapters, is Operation School Bell.
Okay.
But we each can modify the program so that it works specifically for our community. And for us, we work on providing new clothing and new shoes and school supplies and some health supplies to children who need it. And for Operation School Bell, we work basically through the public school system. We'll go to a school and offer to help a certain number of children at a school, and then the school staff tells us the kids that they know of that are most in need at that school.
I was going to ask you, how do you identify those? And so the school staff is actually involved.
Yes.
They relay to you some of what they've noticed and some of what they've seen.
We work with the public school systems for Wake and Durham and Orange counties. And as I said, we go to a school and we can help them different ways. In some cases, we physically go to the school, we measure the kids' feet for shoes.
Oh, okay.
And we get the sizes and we bag up the clothing and bring it to the schools, all fitted specifically for that child. And in other cases, we go to a retail store. For instance, last night, Jean was at a Target in Knightdale, and we had about 40 kids there with their families.
Oh, wow.
That attended Hodge Road Elementary, and they shopped for about $85 worth of clothing per child, but it was stuff that they could wear to school.
And they actually get to
They
kinda
get to pick it out.
Pick it out, try it on even.
Yep.
Wow, that's a big undertaking. I went with my daughter the other night to go get a bathing suit, and that was a fiasco right there. And you got 40 children and picking out $85 worth of clothing.
Yeah, so
That's fantastic.
Yeah, this past year we will have clothed probably 1,700 children, a little over 1,700, through Operation School Bell. But we also do other things to help families throughout the Triangle. We have a scholarship program Next month, we will be giving out $144,000 in scholarships. They are for graduating high school seniors, and they are also for some students that have been that we've given scholarships to in the past, and that maybe they're going to their second or third or fourth year of their college education. But they're all children who were going to school in the Triangle area and are going to North Carolina universities. They're staying in state.
It sounds like to me then there's a lot of personal touching. By that I mean there's a lot of personal touches that it's not just kind of blanket, here it is. I mean, you're heavily involved in some of these families.
It's a lot of very hands-on stuff. We do other things.
That's a better way to say it, hands-on.
There are other things that we do. When you were asking about how do we serve women, we partner with a number of other agencies like the Women's Center of Wake County and Interact and Carol's Kitchen and Ocala is part of Interact, but different agencies, the Helen Wright Center, and we will, for those, we may not be as hands-on because they are people who might have been in an abusive or stressful situation, and we have to have some limited contact, but we help them with things like assault survivor kits and, just bus vouchers, furnishing a house for somebody that needs a place to stay, that kind of stuff. So we do
reaching.
A lot, I think.
That's great. That's awesome. And also, I think it's a wonderful thing when different agencies or organizations or groups are reaching out to work together, and to help one another. Because, from my past experience, some people do one thing really well or a couple of things really well, and sometimes they just need somebody to come along beside and help them out and assist. And then you've got that other group that's coming along at times to assist. They're doing something else really well, and but nobody's able to do it all. And so I think it's great that y'all are reaching out and working with other groups as well. That's fantastic. Joyce, how do you fund your philanthropic efforts?
Our biggest project that we do is the thrift shop in Raleigh.
Okay.
That is our biggest fundraiser, and all the items in the thrift shop are donated. So we then resell them to make our money.
Okay. So now what kind of items are you looking for to come into
our
the
biggest
thrift
item
shop?
is furniture.
Okay.
We do a lot of furniture. We do artwork. We do books, toys, gift items, kitchen items. We do a limited amount of clothing.
Okay. So you're not,
So
that's not
our forte.
The forte.
No, that's not our forte.
Again, back to the furnishings and
Right.
Okay. And then you take those and you sell them
Then
to the
we
general
resell
public. Now, let me ask you this. Where is your thrift store located?
It's located at 1621 North Market Drive in Raleigh. It's one street off of Falls of the Neuse.
Okay.
So.
And that was, tell me one more time.
1621 North Market Drive.
Okay, great,
Right.
fantastic. So, and it's open, is that open?
It's open Wednesday through Saturday,
Oh, okay.
10 to 5 during the week, and 10 to 4 on Saturday.
Okay, wonderful.
Right.
Wonderful.
And we do have other ways that we fundraise.
What
We
are
have
some of the
a
other
committee that is looking actively for grants, and we have been awarded several grants that help our causes.
That's good.
So we just recently got, I think it was 100,000, right, 10,000 from hurricanes.
Yeah, the Carolina Hurricanes.
Carolina Hurricanes.
Oh,
Kids in the
wonderful.
Kids and
Community.
Community Foundation.
Right, right.
So, and that goes to our Operation School Bell project.
Yeah.
So, and then we also have a campaign called Open Your Heart, that it's our mail order campaign where we ask our members to contribute and their friends, and it's also open to anybody in the community. We actually put it in our thrift shop and ask our customers if they would like to contribute.
Okay.
So-
So is that something, you're saying mail order now, you mean that?
We do an invitation
Okay.
to our members and just
Okay.
ask if they would
Right,
make a contribution.
Right. And never quite enough. And in other words, if somebody was to come in and give you another 10 or 15,000
Oh, we would
or
take it. in a heartbeat.
100, you've always got a place.
We
and-
always can
and,
do it, yes.
I
Always
would like
Last
to
night
jump in
at
on
Target, just a woman that was shopping there
Yeah.
went and purchased a $75 gift card and gave it to us to go towards our shopping last night.
Yeah.
So we always take donations.
that. And
Sure.
I will say, altriangle.org is our website.
Uh-huh.
And if anybody would like to contribute to any of our programs, there's a little button they can push on that will allow them to do that very easily.
Yeah.
And we're, as I said, we're always happy
Safe,
to accept.
secure giving,
Yes.
way to give. Yeah. Of course, I
Absolutely.
think nowadays more and more people are realizing you can give online. And when you have an organization that is up front and like Assistance League of the Triangle, that they're going to do it right, so they can give online. It's going to be safe. There's not,
Right.
they don't have to worry about.
We have a platinum rating on GuideStar, which
Right.
basically evaluates nonprofits for how well they use their money and how transparent they are to the public.
That's
So
great.
we're-
And you know, I was just sitting here thinking about the name Assistance League, and Gene, when you said that there was a lady in Target that went and purchased a gift card, it is an assistance league. It's a league of people. It's a league of individuals. It's a league of ordinary folks who I said superheroes, but it's a league of ordinary folks who are working together to do extraordinary things. And you know, I think about, you know, I think there's a lot of people like myself that we sort of kind of have a hero mentality. You know, everybody'd like to do something heroic. Everybody'd like to contribute. Everybody, and the idea of changing the world. But when you help one child, when you help one family, you have changed the world for them. You've changed their world. And so from their perspective, the entire world has changed because somebody reached out and made a difference in their life. Mm-hmm. Let's see, Joyce, what makes Assistance League unique?
I think we're unique because we are all 100% volunteer based.
Okay.
We are part of the national group, and we do have guidelines to go by, but we have no paid staff at all. And a lot of the other nonprofits do have paid staff, especially in their thrift store. So we have no paid staff.
Oh.
So I think that's a big factor, winning factor for us.
So
A lot of people come in our store and ask us that, and
So
it's like, no,
that's-
we're all volunteers.
that's nearly zero, tell me if I'm wrong, but that's nearly zero administrative cost.
Well, we have to pay our overhead.
Right,
you
right.
know,
But I'm saying, but as far as
right,
administrative, you know, there's
right. We
operating
have very
costs.
low
Yeah,
administrative costs.
that's awesome.
If you
Awesome.
looked at our budget, 93% of our funds go back to the philanthropic programs, which is
Wow.
very high
That is very high.
for a nonprofit organization.
That's extremely high.
I mean, I think what makes us really a strong organization is, yes, we're 100% volunteer, but also everything we do stays right here in our local community. What you give to this organization and through this organization, it helps this community. It doesn't help somebody, 500 miles away. It helps people that you know
Right.
that have something going on.
Which is also helping better elevate, better your community, elevate the atmosphere itself. And when I say atmosphere, maybe attitude and in the overall community. I mean, you're elevating people's attitude, and that's important where you live.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I would say, like a specific example from Operation School Bell is I've been to an elementary school in Wendell where, we were fitting children for shoes, and, there was a little girl there who had on shoes where they were like literally 2 sizes too small, and her feet, the knuckles of her feet were coming through the top of her shoe. They were so tight. Now, you can't tell me that child could focus on what she was doing in school, when she really just
Right.
probably was in pain from that. So just doing something like that makes that child able to focus in school, and then, makes it more feasible for them to get through school, get a good education, and then just contribute to the community overall later in life.
And you've changed that. You can't tell me, nobody can tell me that child's world wasn't changed. When someone else volunteered and supplied, and it took the time to go with her and go with her and her family and get these shoes, supplied the money to purchase those shoes. The idea that someone cared that much, there's no telling what, I see little things like that, the possibility of creating a catalyst that changes not only that child's life, but they in turn turn around and begin to change other people's lives. Like you said, it can affect the entire community.
Well, that's just like one of our scholarship winners from the past has just, in the last couple of years, started a nonprofit agency in Raleigh to find volunteers to match up with other
that's awesome.
organizations. So
That's
our little bit
awesome.
of money helping her fulfill her education, now she's given back by doing this.
Yeah, and
So.
and that it's like a seed.
Exactly.
Someone said you can count the number of seeds in an apple, but you can't count the number of apples in a seed. So those acts of kindness, there's no telling what kind of ripple effect
Right.
that they can have, and they can be huge. And not only that, it's when we give of ourselves, and we're going to talk about that in just a second, but when people give of themselves and give of their time, and they're able to, you ladies are sitting here telling stories of some of the things that you've seen, and I can tell when you begin to talk about the stories that it's very fulfilling to you.
Yeah,
It's fulfilling to your life. Some people don't have that kind of time, or some people don't feel like they do. So for the folks that want to contribute financially, I always tell people this: however much you contribute, like the lady with the $75 gift card. Well, I don't know what she does for a living, or I don't know where she works, but however long it took her to earn that money, in one sense, she contributed that much time
Exactly.
to that organization, because money represents your time, your dreams, your wants, and your desires. It represents a lot to a lot of people. So when they give of their money, they are giving of their time, aren't they? Y'all feel that way?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's what we tell our patrons in the gift shop, in the thrift store. Anytime they come in and spend money with us, that's helping children, that's helping women, and every little bit helps. We have very regular customers who come once or twice a week to see the new things we put out, and they'll say, "Oh, I only spent $2 today." It's like, well, that's okay. That's $2 toward a pair of shoes, or $2 to help a woman, with a bus ticket. So
absolutely.
every little bit helps.
Absolutely. Okay, how can people get involved, Jean?
Well, there's many ways. I mean, we've kind of touched on some of them, but we're always seeking new volunteers to join our fabulous group.
Yeah.
And you can donate items to the thrift shop. You can shop
Right.
at the thrift shop. We really appreciate it when someone is aware of a grant opportunity that we can pursue. And you can just spread the word, tell your friends and neighbors and colleagues about the Assistance League and get the word out about us.
So somebody can actually volunteer without actually being there, in one sense, like you said, because they're telling other people about it. That's part of the Assistance League, is
Right.
sharing that. Also, as you said, they can shop there at the store. They could even shop for the store.
Exactly.
If you got some yard sellers out there that love to go to a yard sale, and they're like, I just love to buy things, they could go out there and buy something really, really cheap, carry it to the store, and pass it on. And do you have people doing that? You ever heard anybody doing that?
I'm not sure that we have had people do that, but we often get the remains from yard sales.
Or
If there-
estate sales.
If there's an
Estate
estate
sales,
sale,
yeah.
we have
We do a lot of
several
estate sales.
people that we work with that are doing estate sales, and then we will pack up stuff and take it to the store and make sure it gets passed on to somebody else who can use it.
Right, right. So if you're out there and you're a yard sale fanatic and you just like to buy, but you're like, I don't have anywhere to put it, buy it and then carry it over to the
Bring it to us.
Well, that's a new
to the
way.
thrift store. Yeah. We got some ideas here.
Yeah.
And
Also, I just want
Yeah.
to also add social media. We do have a website and we have a Facebook page, and if people would go and share on social
Oh, yeah,
media,
that's
that
a big
also
help.
helps us.
right, right. Share with us just what other stories do you have in your mind that you always like to share? I know there's always, I told you that at one time I worked with a nonprofit myself as a director, and there's several stories that I think about and I remember. Is there any particular stories that you always like to share? Maybe it was from a child, maybe it was from a mother or a woman that you helped, or maybe it's someone that came in and volunteered and you saw their life change as a result of volunteering.
We have, as Jean does the in-store shopping primarily, but we've had like children come and do that and then come up to us afterwards and talk about what they just bought, and sound like they have these huge grins on their faces. And we've had one little girl say to us, I'm really going to be fashionable. I'm going to be at school the next day. And it's really great to see that. And then we have things that are kind of the other extreme. I've been doing one of those events like that, and there were teachers and social workers from the school that had come, and there was a little boy there who was really tiny, and I just commented on how small he was, and they said that was because that child was a refugee from Burma, and he had been living in a cave with basically no food. They actually said he's been surviving by eating rats. That was like,
oh wow,
and that was just one of those. Okay, that really got you. But I went home that evening and I had like a bagel that I burned, and I said to my husband, now I have to eat this burned bagel.
Because it's better than a rat.
It's better than a rat.
Yeah.
So, you just come across little things like that as you're doing all of these things.
And I was at one of the in-store shopping events, and a grandmother who was raising her 2 grandchildren was just in tears because she was telling us how much this helped her, that she just could not afford to buy them clothes. Yeah. She says, I have to choose sometimes between, do I buy food or do I buy new shoes? So it impacts these families that we touch. Right. It really does.
Not just the individual, the families, everybody.
Right.
And the volunteers, and it's a good thing. Who qualifies? How do you, I know that when we talked about children, sometimes you go into the schools and the teachers help identify, but how are you identifying some of the other folks that are in need of assistance from the Assistance League?
That's basically, like you said, for Operation School Bell, it is through the schools. We just work either with individual schools, or we work with, there are coordinators for homeless children in the counties, and we work through them, and they tell us who needs the help. So they kind of select the people that can participate or should participate, let's put it that way. With the scholarships, it's pretty much we advertise that through the high schools and via our website and through churches and other ways, just trying to get the word out that people can apply, and all the application stuff is online. Most of the other stuff that is either through our Women in Need program, or we have another program through the Wake Med Children's Emergency Department. We're actually working through the other agencies because they have the staff to know who needs the assistance. Okay. And so our partnership through them is essentially how we select. Okay. And that's one of the programs we didn't talk about was the Wake Med program. We have had originally furnished kind of a room there at the Children's Emergency Department for like the siblings to be in while their siblings were being treated. Right. But we also provide like a little treasure chest. When the kids are done, they could get to pick out a little thing to take away with them. We have teddy bears for like the trauma victims, really, kids that are in an exceptionally difficult situation. And we, provide things like books and, toys, DVDs, just things to keep them occupied and stuff.
Sounds like it's just a lot of nice people.
It is nice people.
A lot of nice people trying to do nice things.
And I think that's one thing is that a lot of people join us. We have a group of about almost 100 women, and a lot of people come on board with a passion to help in the community. And as they start working with everybody, you bond with these women. They become your second family. And we go through good things and bad things with each other, you know, and we're very supportive of each other. And I think that's what makes us successful, and it helps because everybody, you know, they want to dig in and help each other and help the community.
And make a difference.
Right.
I used to work with a company, and their philosophy was have fun, make money, and make a difference. Y'all's is have fun, and we'll receive money to help and make a difference.
Right.
I get it. What if you put it into a slogan, or do you have a catchphrase, or if you had to, do you have anything like, you know, what is that? What would that sound like?
It's caring and commitment in action.
Yeah.
So you do have one.
Yes.
Caring,
That's the official
commitment,
one.
and action.
I memorized that
Yeah,
before
there
we
you
came.
go. So that's great. Caring, commitment, and action.
I tell everybody who wants to know what do you do in the thrift store? I say we work really hard, we have fun, but we get it done.
Get it done. Caring enough to commit to action. How about that? I just kind of filled in a few blanks,
Yeah.
but really, caring enough to commit to acting. And so if y'all got phone calls and said, and people were saying, you know, what can I do? How can I help? You've got places, you got plans, and if somebody's asking about volunteering, if you're thinking about volunteering, are you looking for a year-long commitment or just some time? Is that right? Just some time?
Yeah.
You can help them figure it out.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
If they've got time, you ladies,
we can help them.
Y'all can help them figure it out, and they can make a difference. Okay, so you've been watching Public Report today, and our guests, Jean, Barbara, and Joyce, we've been talking about the Assistance League of the Triangle. And if you're looking for a way that you can make a difference, if you're looking for a way that you can reach into the community and help, and you just don't know where to start with the Assistance League. I almost want to say Justice League. The Assistance League of the Triangle. And you lend your assistance to them. And what was it again, Jean?
Caring, commitment, and action.
So we've got caring, commitment, and action. If you care enough to commit to action, call them. Thank you for watching.
This has been Public Report. Public Report discusses the issues of interest and importance to our viewing area. Please remember that the views expressed by our guests are their own and do not necessarily represent the views of TCT or the station.
Jesus taught that where a man's treasure is, therewith his heart would be also. You know, I love laying up for myself treasures in heaven. You can't take anything with you, but you can send it on ahead by supporting good biblical scriptural ministries like TCT. We'd love to have your help. We need your support. Pray about it and be generous when you give to TCT.